Whenever we are doing factorization of quadratic equations, we are usually using the middle term splitting method. Now, what exactly is the middle term splitting method and how do we use it? That exactly is what I'm going to teach you in this video, and we are going to learn it in 8 simple steps. So just stay connected with me and come on, let's nail it. So what exactly is a quadratic equation? Well, a quadratic equation is an equation which can be written in the form. So the general form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c, where a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term that we have which does not have any variable. Now whenever it comes to finding the solutions of a quadratic equation, what we are basically doing is we are finding the roots or the zeros of the equation. So the first thing that we have to do is to equate the equation equal to 0. Now first of all, how do we find out the value of a variable in a linear equation? Let's take the example of 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. So all we have to do is just keep the variables on one side of the equation and take everything else to the other side. So we take 4 to the other side, the equation becomes 2x is equal to 4, and now dividing both sides by 2 we get x is equal to 2. Now if we apply the same thing to this quadratic equation also, we keep the variables on one side and we take this constant term c to the other side, so that becomes ax square plus bx is equal to minus c. Now what can we do after that? Well, it is not clear to me how to find the value of x now. So at the most what I can do is I can factorize it. So when we factorize it, I can take probably x as common. So x times, and inside the bracket I'll be left with ax plus b. So x times ax plus b should be equal to minus c. Now we get stuck. What do we do after this? Now how can we say that the product of two numbers is a particular number? For example, if the number is 2, it could be 1 into 2 also, it could be half into 4 also. So we get stuck here, then we don't know what to do. Well, so this isn't going to work. So let's delete this and let's see what else do we do in a linear equation. So looking at the same equation, 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Well, I could factorize the equation, isn't it? Since 2 is a common factor, I can take 2 as a common factor, and inside the brackets, I'll be left with x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now I've got a product of two factors which are equal to 0. Well, if the product of two factors is 0, that means either one of the factors is 0 or both the factors are 0. Now 2 cannot be 0 here, so the only possibility is that x minus 2 should be equal to 0. Now if x minus 2 is equal to 0, then the most obvious thing is that x should have a value of 2. So we are getting the value of 2 in both the cases, whether we do it by the factorization method or by keeping the variables on one side. So why don't we apply this method to the quadratic equation also? So let's write it down that what we can do is we can factorize the equation and write it as a product of two factors. For the time being, let's assume that the two factors are p and q. So we can say that p times q should be equal to 0. Now there are only two possibilities, or probably three, that either p is equal to 0 or q is equal to 0, or maybe both p and q are equal to 0. Now this is exactly what we are going to do in this video, but before we continue, I would like to remind you that if you are a student of mathematics, especially in class 10, and if this is the first time that you are coming to my channel, you must know that I keep doing a lot of this stuff on my channel and you must subscribe to it. And not only click on subscribe, but also click on the bell notification so that each future upload is sent right into your inbox. So come on, let's proceed. Now whenever we are doing some abstract things, it becomes a little difficult. So we are going to understand the middle term splitting method by the help of an example. So let's say that the equation that we have is 4x squared minus 9x is equal to 100. So first let's compare it to the standard form of a quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we see that here 0 is on one side and everything else is on the other side. So why not write it in the standard form also? So if I want 0 on one side, I should probably take 100 to the other side. So we'll be left with 4x square minus 9x minus 100 is equal to 0. Now, as I told you in the beginning, we are going to follow 8 simple steps to do the middle term splitting method. So first of all, once we have written it in the standard form, we are going to identify the coefficients, which is a, b and c. So from this equation, it is pretty clear that a is equal to 4, b, which is the coefficient of x, is minus 9 and c is minus 100. Do not forget to take the signs along with it, because
if you don't, it could turn out to be a problem.
The second step is to find the product of a and c. So in this case, a is 4 and c is 100. So we ignore the signs here. So it's just 4 into 100, which is equal to 400. The third step is to write this number as a product of two factors. So I'm going to list it down as a product of two factors, which can be that 400 can be written as 400 times 1, or it could be written as 200 times 2, or it could be written as 100 times 4, or it could be written as 80 times 5, or it could be 50 times 8, or 40 times 10, or 25 times 16, or 20 times 20. And step number 4 is to identify the sign of C. What is the sign behind the coefficient of C? In this case, it's a minus. So if it's a minus, you are going to find the difference of the two factors. If it's a plus, you are going to find the sum of the two factors. So like I said, in this case, we have got C as minus. So we are going to find the differences of these factors, and let's find out the differences. And we are going to choose those factors in which the difference is equal to b. So let's find the difference. 400 minus 1 is 399. 200 minus 2 is 198. 100 minus 4 is 96. 80 minus 5 is 75. 50 minus 8 is 42. 40 minus 10 is 30. 25 minus 16 is 9. Well, that is equal to b. So that is what we are looking for. So step number 5 is to identify the most suitable factor product, and that's what we have just done. We have found it as 25 and 16. Now once we have chosen the factor product, step number 6 is to just do the middle term splitting method. So middle term splitting basically means splitting the middle term into a sum or a difference of two terms. So we can write it as 4x square, and this 9x we are going to split it into two terms now. Now because we had minus 9x and 25 and 16 is what we are going to use, obviously we'll have to choose 25 as negative and 16 as positive. So we can write this minus 9x as minus 25x plus 16x. Minus 100 is equal to 0. Now step number 7, we just factorize the first two terms and the last two terms and write the equation as a product of two factors. So in the first two terms, we have got 4x square minus 25x. So the only thing common here is x. I can factorize x out, and inside the brackets, I'll be left with 4x here and minus 25 here. And in the second two terms, I don't see anything common except 4. So I can probably factorize out 4, and inside the brackets, I'll again be left with 4x minus 25. And that should be equal to 0. Now in both the terms, I see that 4x minus 25 is common, so I can factorize out the 4x minus 25, and again inside the brackets I'll be left with x here and plus 4 here, and that should be equal to 0. Now once we have written the equation as a product of two factors, it is very simple. Now we come to the last and final step, which is the 8th step, which is to find the value of x. So this means that either one of the two factors is equal to 0. So we equate both the factors equal to 0 and find out the value of the variable. So we can say that 4x minus 25 should be equal to 0, or maybe x plus 4 is equal to 0. And since we have to find the value of x now, we can take 25 to the other side. So we can say that 4x is equal to 25, and then dividing both the sides by 4, we get x is equal to 25 over 4. And in this case, if x plus 4 is equal to 0, then I can just take 4 to the other side, and I'll have a value of x is equal to negative 4. Now these are the two solutions to this quadratic equation, and if you substitute these values back into the quadratic equation, you will find that both the sides will now be equal to 100. Now once we have understood the middle term splitting method or understood the steps behind the middle term splitting, what we actually need to do is to apply it. And that application may not be simple, it could come in a slightly tricky way. For example, in this question that we have, where we have no numbers, it is only variables. Now let's say that the equation that we have is x square minus 4ax minus b square plus 4a square is equal to 0. Now doesn't it look tricky? How do we do that? Well, it looks a little bit tricky, but it's not very difficult. All we have to do is just apply the steps that we did just now and see what we get. So let's see if it is in the standard form first. So I can probably, the standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Well, it looks to be in the standard form, so we'll just apply step 1, which is to identify the coefficients, which means a, b and c. Now looking at this equation, it is pretty clear that a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 4a because it's the coefficient of x, and c is this term. So probably I can rewrite this equation as x squared minus 4ax, and then I can factorize out the negative sign here and write this c term within the brackets, which will then become b square minus 4a square. So we can write that c is equal to b square minus 4a square. Then we apply the step number 2. Step number 2 said that we have to find the product of a and c. So a is 1 and c is b square minus 4a square. So we are just going to multiply that. So that gives us b square minus 4a square only. I can rewrite this as the square of b minus the square of 2a. And now since I've got it as a difference of two squares, I can just apply the algebraic identity, which is a square minus b square is equal to a minus b times a plus b. So in this case, it will become b minus 2a times b plus 2a. Third step was to look at the sign of c. So in this case, we have got this negative sign here. So that means this c thing, this whole thing should actually have been negative. And because it is negative, we are going to find the difference of the two factors. So let's try and find out the difference. So it becomes b minus 2a minus, within brackets I can write b plus 2a, and when we distribute this negative term, it becomes b minus 2a minus b minus 2a, and then the b's can be cancelled out and I'll be left with minus 2a, which is equal to minus 4a. And well, that's exactly what we wanted, because b is the same as what we have got. So which means that these are the two factors that we are looking for. And since we have just found the difference, we can take this as positive and this as negative. Now next step is to do the middle term splitting. So what we are going to do is we are going to write this minus 4ax as a difference of these two factors. So we will get x square, and because we were taking this as positive, we can write it as b minus 2a times x, and this has to be negative, so minus b plus 2a times x, and this c term I can again write it as a product of two factors, so minus b minus 2a times b plus 2a. Now looking at the first two terms, I can see that only x is the only common factor there. So factorizing out the x, I can rewrite this as, within the brackets, I'll get x plus b minus 2a. And here in the second two terms, I can factorize out the negative sign. And also I see that b plus 2a is the common factor. So taking that as common, within the brackets, I'll be left with x here. And since we have already factorized out the negative sign, this will become plus b minus 2a is what is left here. And in both these terms, what we see is that x plus b minus 2a is common. So we can factorize that out. And then within the brackets, I'll be left with x here and minus b plus 2a here. So I can distribute the negative term. So that will become x minus b minus 2a. And since now I've got it as a product of two factors, I can just equate that to 0, which means either one of the two factors is 0 So I can equate both the factors to 0. So I can say that x plus b minus 2a is equal to 0, or x minus b minus 2a is equal to 0. And if we want to find the value of x, we can probably take this 2a to the other side. So from here it goes to the other side, it becomes positive 2a, and this plus b, when it goes to the other side, it becomes minus b. So we have got x is equal to 2a minus b, and in this case if we take 2a to the other side, it will become plus 2a, and if we take b to the other side, it will become plus b. So we have got two solutions: either x is equal to 2a minus b, or it is equal to 2a plus b. Well, that was about the middle term splitting method, but do you actually know where exactly quadratic equations are used in real life? Well, you'll be surprised to know there are a lot of applications about quadratic equations, and if you want to see where all quadratic equations can be applied, we are going to look at this video here. And also do not forget to click on my picture here, because that will subscribe you to the channel, and do not forget to click on these videos also appearing on the screen. But as far as the middle term splitting method is concerned, congratulations, you have nailed it. Take care. God bless.